I don't believe in this film, I don't believe in this film, I don't believe in this film, I don't believe in this film. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's still there. As usual, I am the review guy. I review it so you can watch it. Unfortunately, today I am here to bring you the film 2005 Stephen K. BoogeyMan. This film sucked. That's all I got to say. It sucked. I give it a thumbs down. It is. You guys all say, "Hey, review guy, there's no movies that you don't like." This is one of them. This is one of those films that I just could not. I do not like it. There's some cool stuff in it, though. The visual effects are cool. The cinematography is pretty decent. The directing was okay. The story just isn't there, you know. So it's like they had two ideas that they tried to work with, and they tried to combine them, and then they went M. Night Shyamalan on us and screwed everybody over by saying, "Hey, we're going to end it this way, regardless of how the rest of the story is." The plot of the film is that a son witnesses his dad getting sucked into the closet by the boogeyman as an 8-year-old kid. 15 years later, you see that he's got a girlfriend and he's planning on getting married and things like that. And the boogeyman still haunts him, though. You don't know this right away, but it still haunts him. Because he thinks the boogeyman is real. Everybody else thinks it's in his mind. Only a couple of people know that he's afraid of the boogeyman. But so anyway, the film goes on, and his mom passes away. So he goes to stay the night at his old house in respect for lost time, because he had moved away when his dad had died, and he didn't get to see his mom while she was sick. So he goes to stay in the house, and that's when the boogeyman comes back. The boogeyman does some cool things in this film. He's the coolest part of the film. He's the only redeeming quality of the film. The ending that they went towards sucked. And what I was talking about earlier with the two plots is you have the parts where the boogeyman is real and haunting him, and then you have the parts where everybody thinks that it's him and it's more of a psychological game. Because it switches. Like, there's scenes where he's doing something in real life, and then there's scenes where he's at the house, and like the boogeyman will show up and do something. He sees the boogeyman, nobody else does. So they tried to do two different things that just didn't work out too well. And the ending really screws you over. I'm not going to ruin it, but there's an alternate ending on here which I like a lot better than the original ending. It's more of a what's the term I'm looking for? It's like a Rocky kind of thing where it's you that has to do this. Nobody else can help you. I liked that ending a lot better. I give this film a 1 out of 5 stars. The 1 only because the cinematography was really cool. Other than that, this film sucked. I would avoid this. I know people that say they like it better than the other two. I've got the trilogy pack. I disagree with them because this film sucked. It was trying to do what... I know what it was trying to do, but it just didn't accomplish it very well. It was trying to recreate a legend, and it didn't work out too well. There's new actors in here, got people I've never heard of before. The acting was pretty good, though, I must admit. But that's it. The story sucked, and if you've got good actors and a good plot, but the story sucks, your film is going to suck because you got to have that story there. You got to have it in you. I felt that the director did this, or the writers did this, just to get this film out. There was not a lot of heart put into it. It was seemed thrown together really cheaply and really quickly, just to get, almost as if it was like their first film that they were trying to get out so they could do the other two. That's just how I felt. I mean, others may have a different opinion on it, but that's how I felt the film went. because there's no structure to it. It starts going psychological, then it goes horror, then it goes drama. It's just, it doesn't stick to a specific pattern. There's some really cool stuff that they start going with, almost Hitchcock style, but then they stop it and then they switch over to Shyamalan style. That's that way. As I said, I give it a 1 out of 5. Really not worth seeing unless you want to get into the series, because let me tell you, there are better films in this series. The other two are actually really cool. This one just sucked. The ending was horrible. The acting was mediocre. The story sucked. The Boogeyman was cool. That's it. He's the only cool thing. Like, as in my Bloody Valentine review, my Bloody Valentine 3D review, the killer is the only cool part. And I agree, that's the same how I feel with this film. The killer is the only cool part in this film. He does some cool things, but that's it. I give it a thumbs down. Only see it if you want to get into the series. If you don't like the Boogeymans, or if you don't want to get into the Boogeyman films, stay away from them, unless you are dying to see them. Because you gotta see this one to see the other two. But definitely don't watch this if you can avoid it. I just don't. However, there's one redeeming quality left for this franchise. In my opinion, there is one thing left that redeems the trilogy. And that